Okay, get this. What if the space between you and, well, whatever you're watching this on, doesn't actually exist? Today, we're diving into a really radical theory that says space isn't some empty box that holds the universe. Nope. It suggests matter creates space itself.
So, let's just jump right in with a huge question. Is space really empty? I mean, we're all taught to see it as this giant, dark, empty void, right? But what if that nothingness we think we see between the stars is actually the biggest illusion of them all?
To really wrap your head around just how revolutionary this new idea is, we first have to talk about the picture of space we all kind of have in our heads, this idea of a vast, empty stage where the whole cosmic drama unfolds. So yeah, let's start with that old map. How does mainstream physics see the universe? This is the foundation we're about to completely challenge. You know, traditionally, physics treats space like a pre-existing container. It might be this static, 3D background, or, as Einstein so brilliantly showed us, it can be a flexible fabric that gravity can actually bend and warp. But in all of these views, one thing is always the same. Space is the container, and matter is the stuff you put in it. Space always comes first.
But now, let's throw a wrench in all that. We're going to look at a radical new idea from a researcher named Thanh Hảo. It's called the Postmodern Unified Theory, or UPT for short. And this theory doesn't just tweak the old map. It pretty much tears it up and starts fresh.
At the very heart of UPT is this one really powerful statement from the theory. It basically argues that space isn't an empty stage at all. Instead, what we call space is actually the internal vacuum of the fundamental particles themselves.
Okay, you gotta lean in for this part, because this is the absolute core of the revolution. Modern physics says space exists first, then matter comes along and fills it up. UPT flips that completely on its head. It says, no, matter, these things called phondons, exist first, and that matter creates the space around it. Matter doesn't fill space, matter is space.
All right, so if matter creates space, how in the world does it do that? Well, the answer lies in a new kind of fundamental particle that's at the very heart of this entire theory.
Let me introduce you to the phondon. According to this theory, this is the root particle of everything. But it's not just another tiny building block. Here's the crucial difference. Every single phondon has its own internal vacuum. That vacuum is the source of space itself.
And this idea, it comes with some seriously mind-bending rules. First off, every single point in the entire universe belongs to the vacuum of one and only one phondon. There's no unclaimed territory, no public space between particles. It means the universe isn't one big room. It's more like an infinite collection of nested private rooms, kind of like those Russian matryoshka dolls.
Okay, wait a second. This immediately brings up a huge question. If every point in space is owned by a particle, then what the heck is that empty space we see between two atoms, or two planets, or even two galaxies? And the answer the theory gives is, wow. That gap isn't a gap at all. It is simply the internal vacuum of another, much larger phondon that's enveloping both of them. Just try to imagine that our entire solar system exists inside the vacuum of one massive solar system phondon. It's a wild thought.
So, what's the big deal? If space is owned by particles, what does that actually change? Well, this isn't just some neat philosophical trick. It has real physical consequences for how the whole universe actually works.
It all kicks off with motion. For step one, each phondon's vacuum is constantly expanding and contracting because it's being pushed on by all its neighbors. This leads directly to step two, a totally dynamic space where every single point is always in motion. And that constant motion creates, step three, our entire physical reality. According to the theory, this perpetual jostling is what creates everything we see and measure. Forces, light, energy, it's all just the result of these particle spaces pushing and pulling on each other.
So let's zoom all the way out and just take in the incredible new picture this theory is painting for us. It's a dynamic, almost living cosmos that completely redefines what we think we know.
This table right here, it just lays it all out, side by side. Where modern physics sees a passive stage, this new theory sees an active, physical thing. Where physics says space existed before matter, this theory says matter creates space. It's a huge shift from thinking of the universe as one single container to a universe made of countless, nested individual spaces. And all of this leaves us with one final, absolutely profound thought. According to this theory, you're not living in space. You are living inside the vacuums of countless fundamental particles. So I'll leave you with this. What does it really mean if the very foundation of our reality isn't a place at all, but a property of matter itself?